Hello, beautiful soul money revolutionary. It's your fearless leader here, Tori Cruz. And today I want to share with you how to nail your direct sell process. Now, this is the lifeblood of your business. Without consistent sales, you don't have a business. I feel like I need to say this again. Without consistent sales, you do not have a business. So how are you ensuring that you have consistent sales? How are you ensuring that you are having the right conversations with the right people that are converting to the right sales and the right work consistently? Now, when you first start out in business, none of this is automated. Hi, Pip, you need to do it all yourself, right? And to be honest, you need to do it all yourself all the time anyway, even when you do have an automated process in place as well. Even when you do have an automated system that continues your outreach, that continues to attract cold leads and warm them up, you are still the one that needs to convert them. You are still the one that needs to be out there consistently driving sales, driving traffic, driving connection, driving that epiphany, driving conversion through your business. That is your primary job. There comes a point in your business, especially if you're building an empire, where you're actually connecting with colder leads even more than you're delivering to the people who have paid you, because you've set up the systems and processes. Pip's mind is blown. Because you've set up the systems and processes that allow delivery to be seamless, smooth, that ensure that your clients still get their results, even with potentially less direct face-to-face time with you. Of course, they still have face-to-face time with you, and contact with you is part of the value proposition of working with you, but it's not all there is to it, right? And it's much more about how you actually get them there. And so if you haven't nailed your direct sell process, then chances are you still feel like this is kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping for the best. And every time you have a sale, it's like, was that a fluke? How did I do that? I don't really know how I did that. I'm laughing because I remember those days really well. It's really unsettling to not know in your bones that consistent sales are coming in, and to not know in your bones that what you are doing is actually attracting the right people to you consistently so that you can convert them. So you need to nail your direct sell process, but how do you actually do that? Now, I believe a two-step process is the way to go. Content to call to conversion. That's simple, CCC. Yes, I have another CCC, Connect and Convert on Camera. I tend to like the CCCs, content to call to conversion. It's that simple, really. You need to be able to have a conversation with the right person and have that conversation convert to a sale and deep work. If that's not happening, you need to learn how to sell. And then once you have the right offer for the right person and you can have that conversation and have it convert, then you need to know how to link your content to that conversation so that it's a seamless process of your ideal client having the realizations they need to have in order to feel safe to have a conversation with you, and then having that conversation be a powerful experience that really allows them to get clear on what they need and to make the internal decision that, one, they're going to do what it takes to get there, and two, they're going to do that with you and not with anyone else. And so all of your content really needs to be driven towards answering the question of why me? Why work with me? Why not work with someone else who does something similar? Why not work with someone else who's talking about similar outcomes and similar results? And every piece of content needs to answer that question somehow. You don't need to spell it out in black and white, because then you're making it all about you when it's not about you, it's about your client. But you really need to show through your content, whether that be copy, videos, posts, images that are curated for Pinterest or Instagram. However you are approaching your content strategy, you really need to answer that question. why work with me every single time? Whether it be through a story that connects, through some intel or teaching that shows that you are the real deal, that you actually do know what you're talking about, that you didn't just decide to do this last weekend, that you are actually a genuine expert in your field. And this is something that cannot be faked. You cannot fake connection. You cannot fake expertise. And if you try, we can tell. So just show us your goods. That sounds kind of rude, doesn't it? But it's true. You got to show us what you got. You got to show us your chops. You got to let us see yours before you can expect us to show you ours. And so part of this is developing that deep cellular trust that it's safe to connect with you. It's safe to have a conversation with you. It's safe to share our most vulnerable information with you. It is safe to get your view on something, and that your view is valuable, and that your opinion and your time is something that is valuable and that they really want, and that is absolutely worth them giving you 30 minutes of their time. Not so that you can pitch to them, just so that you can deeply connect, help them see what you feel they need, and then if it's a mutual fit, you can ask the question if you want to work together. I've just spotted an enormous mosquito, so if I suddenly leap off camera and you hear a smack, that's why, because they love me. I have tasty blood. So yeah, that's it really. I mean, it's simple. It's actually simple. It doesn't mean it's easy. It means that you need to come to a place where you can really speak about your work and speak about the power of your work as separate to you, without somehow confusing that for you being up yourself, for you saying that you're the best thing since sliced bread, and for fearing appearing arrogant. It's actually an act of deep service to get out of the way of the work and allow your client to feel its power, so that your client feels safe to move forward, so that your client feels safe to do what is actually required to make progress. And this is another thing where, you can then come from a place of non-attachment, of great love, where you're really clear about what is actually going to take to get there. And according to you, according to your expertise, your curriculum, your IP, your process, what you have worked out is what is actually required to get there. And this is why, I now only work with people in 6-month or 3-month chunks, because it takes 3 months to learn how to sell, I believe, to develop your curriculum in a way that it feels tangible and credible, and you really deeply understand it, and it's come from you and your work, but that you can articulate it in a way that your client deeply understands, sees the value in that process, and then also to develop content that seamlessly clicks in with that, and making sure that you're attracting the right people for the work, that you have the right vibration, that you're a vibrational match for the clients that you want to attract, and that it really becomes a no-brainer. I had a beautiful client this morning contact me and say, I have to tell you the words she used. I will protect her confidentiality, of course. She said, I friggin' love how much everyone's like, oh my God, this is what I need. And she hasn't had that experience before. Before, in her conversion calls, in her sales calls, in her free clarity calls, review calls, whatever you want to call them, even if you do a single session first up, this still applies. In those conversations or connections, people used to say, yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds amazing, or wow, that's super interesting. But now, when she's having those conversations, they're saying, this is exactly what I need. I get it. I get it, that this is what is actually been missing, and that this is what I haven't done when I tried all those other things, and that this is the piece that I haven't fully understood until now. And that realization in and of itself is deeply healing, because they realize it's not their fault. It's not that they cocked it up. It's that they haven't actually had all the information until now to be able to create lasting change. And now that they do have that information, they have access to make a powerful choice for their life or business or however you serve them. And so really that's what direct selling is all about. It is an act of service to direct sell because you have something that your clients need, and you need to make it very clear what it is, who it's for, why they need it, what they need to realize before they're ever going to be ready to do the process, and have that, say that a million different ways over and over and over and over again. So that people feel safe enough to connect with you, so that you can, from a space of professional expertise, make your recommendations, listen to them deeply, share what you feel is best for them. I'm just seeing a whole ton of emoticons flying up now. I'm guessing that was from earlier. There seems to be a bit of a delay. And then when they connect with you, you get to assess them as well as have them assess you. Is this a fit? Are we going to do this dance, right? Because it's a little bit like a marriage. Imagine if you're out there on the internet saying, marry me, marry me, marry me, everyone, marry me, right? It's a bit like, who's this nutbag? She's a bit desperate. Speaking of which, I'm not wearing my wedding rings, not because I'm not married. I still am. I just have bad psoriasis under my rings from getting water under there, I think. Super itchy, so I had to take a break. Yeah, you don't want to be out there begging the world to marry you, right? You actually want to have that dating process. You actually want to have that process where you meet people and you do the, are we going to tango? Is this for us? And it needs to be a two-way street. And if you don't actually have that in your direct sell process, I highly recommend you reassess your direct sell process and see if you wouldn't be better served by incorporating that. Now, a lot of people resent doing free calls. And I would say if you're in that position, you're not doing them right. Because really, honestly, and look, I went through it too. I did them for a while and was like, oh God, if I have to do another call with a person who is never going to buy from me, who just wants to get what they can from me for free and then bugger off, I'll die, right? Now, if you're experiencing that, or if you're afraid of that, it means that your messaging is not right. You're not connecting properly at the content end because you're attracting the wrong people. And so, you know, I don't make any mistake that if I offer a free value call, I'm very clear about the fact that this is a process whereby you will get insane value. Yes, you'll get great clarity. Yes, it will absolutely help you on your journey. For sure, it's valuable. And there's absolutely no obligation there, for sure. But also, you are assessing me in terms of how I can help you moving forward and if that's something that you want in your future. And vice versa, me too. Because I work with soul clients, and what I mean by soul clients is that recognition of like, hey, I know you from before. And I get tingles, I am very moved, I get really excited and passionate about that person's work. I really see their potential and feel physically like I can hold space for that potential to unfold. And I really believe in their business as much as they do. And I really care about their business as much as they do. And if that's not there, it's not going to serve anyone, right? We have limited service hours here on this planet. I have said this before. I think I said it in a webinar. I'm going to say it again. I say it to clients all the time. I don't think it can be said enough. If you stop working when you're 75, how many years of work life do you have left? This is morbid, by the way, but it's okay. So I have 40 years, 39 years of work life left, right? I have 15 client-facing hours a week. 39 years times, say I work 40 weeks a year, because I like my holidays with my boys, and I work 15 hours a week. That's 23,400 hours I have left in my work life. That's not a lot. Like, that's finite, right? And if I'm going to work with clients for, say, 90 minutes each and like 6 sessions. Like, how many hours is that? That's a finite number of clients. Super finite, right? So I have to make sure that they're the right ones. I have to make sure that they are the ones that are actually going to get there. And that's the thing. When you come to this place of like, it's about compatibility, it's about collaboration, it's about co-creation, then you shift from that kind of desperate pitching for peanuts vibe and into a space of, are we going to create this together? And when you choose to, and you do, it's just, it's the best feeling in the world. So if your direct sell process doesn't feel like that, doesn't feel like the best feeling in the world, like meeting the love of your life again and again, then I would review it. I would be like, how can I make this more juicy, y'all, so that I attract the right people, so that they understand the value of the work before I even speak with them. And then so those conversations are really meaningful and powerful, and they allow us to both get what we need from that conversation, and they allow us to both commit to each other if it's right. All right, that's enough for me. I need to go and prep my conference presentation. I'm speaking at the Heart-Centered Business Conference next week. I've written some things out. It's going to be pretty fun, but I need to practice. So off I go to the mirror, just like a little girl. When I was a little girl, I used to perform for the mirror. I'm sure most of us did. And I kind of never stopped, because then I went to drama school and I would rehearse for the mirror. And now when I teach video strategy, I often recommend people rehearse for the mirror, because what will come up is you'll probably either get fits of giggles, or you want to cry, or you want to scream at yourself. because you can't hide anymore. You're looking at yourself doing the thing that you potentially have some fight, flight, freeze response around doing, just because you're a human being. And so, yeah, it's a really powerful process, and it's something that I highly recommend you do with your own content before speaking to camera. All right, my dears, have a beautiful day. I can't wait to see your Teach to Camera. I also can't wait to connect with you in a call if you would like to learn more about this. If you're wondering, how do I fix this in my own business? Just connect with me. I'll pop the link there so that you can book a chat. It is free and obligation free. But yeah, make no mistake, we're sussing each other out, and that's okay. I think clarity calls have got a really bad name because so many people have done them so badly for so long. And so we get defensive and skeptical, which is totally understandable, but don't call them that. Like, they don't actually even have to be that. They can just be a way for you to connect with people and see who you're attracting, have deep conversations. It is more powerful. Look at that, I've got lippy. Does that happen to anyone else? I always get lippy up here on my face. Does that happen to anyone else, or is it just my weird, freaky lips? Anyway, it's the best market research you'll ever do as well. Way more powerful than a bunch of questions and people volunteering and answering the questions to help you out, because the way they answer the questions is totally different to the way they would answer them if they genuinely had a real problem and they wanted help getting it solved. You don't actually get accurate intel from market research questions or interviews, in my opinion. Anyway, that's enough, Tori. Go, go, go rehearse. Have a beautiful day. Lots of love. Bye for now.